Picture this. A sunny vacation in Bulgaria full of laughter and memories suddenly turns into a chilling mystery. Lars Mittank, a young man from Germany, was living the dream. He set off with his friends to the sunny beaches of Bulgaria, trading the hustle and bustle of city life for a week of relaxation under the golden sun. Bulgaria, known for its picturesque landscapes and vibrant nightlife, was the perfect getaway. The days were filled with laughter, the nights with camaraderie. The group of friends were just like any other tourists, soaking up the sun, exploring the local culture and savoring the freedom of a vacation well spent. But this seemingly idyllic vacation was about to take a dark turn. One night, Lars got into a fight with some locals. It was a minor scuffle, the kind that you'd brush off as a result of too much alcohol and high spirits. But this fight left Lars with a ruptured eardrum, a seemingly minor injury, but one that would have profound implications. The next morning, Lars visited a local doctor who confirmed the injury. Lars was prescribed some antibiotics and advised not to fly due to the risk of worsening the injury. It was a small hiccup, a minor inconvenience in an otherwise joyous vacation. But little did Lars or his friends know, this was the beginning of a series of events that would turn their carefree adventure into a horrifying nightmare. At this point, nothing seemed out of the ordinary. Lars was injured, but he was still in good spirits. His friends didn't think much of it. After all, who hasn't had a vacation mishap? But as the days went by, Lars started to behave strangely. He became increasingly paranoid and anxious. He was slipping away, and his friends could do nothing but watch in confusion and growing concern. A seemingly harmless injury, but it was the beginning of a series of inexplicable events. A visit to the doctor's office, where Lars was given a simple instruction: don't fly. Now, you might be wondering, what's the big deal about not flying? Well, Lars had suffered an ear injury. You see, the delicate mechanisms of our ears are not designed to withstand the rapid pressure changes that come with air travel. When Lars visited the doctor, he was told in no uncertain terms that flying could cause serious complications. The doctor was well-intentioned, trying to protect his patient. He warned Lars of the dangers, the risk of a ruptured eardrum, the severe pain, the possible long-term hearing loss. He emphasized the gravity of the situation, hoping to drive home the significance of his advice. But in doing so, he unknowingly planted a seed of fear in Lars's mind. Little did anyone know, this medical advice would set off an extraordinary chain of events. It's time to return home, but Lars stays behind. His behavior starts to change. Our tale takes a sudden twist as we delve into the peculiarities that began to surface. Lars Mittank, a seemingly average 28-year-old man, decides to stay behind in Bulgaria. An ear injury had rendered him unfit to fly, per the doctor's instructions. What might have been an unfortunate inconvenience was soon eclipsed by the onset of inexplicable behavior. The staff at the hotel where Lars stayed began to notice a distinct change in his demeanor. The jovial young man they had seen only days before had disappeared, replaced by someone more reclusive, more anxious. His friends, now back in Germany, were none the wiser to Lars's unsettling transformation. But the hotel staff couldn't ignore the changes. The once sociable Lars had become a recluse, his time spent locked within his hotel room. His interactions with the staff became sparse, and when they did occur, were marked by an undercurrent of unease. The man who had been enjoying a vacation was now plagued by a sense of restlessness and paranoia. The staff observed his odd behavior, the nervous glances, the hushed phone calls. He was often seen pacing his room, oblivious to the world outside, his mind seemingly trapped in an invisible labyrinth. One can only imagine the torment Lars must have been experiencing. Was it the pain from his injury, the isolation from his friends, or was it something more sinister, a fear known only to him? His behavior became increasingly erratic. He switched rooms, citing concerns about suspicious individuals lurking around his original room. His paranoia was palpable, his fear was visible, and his actions were becoming more and more unpredictable. The hotel staff, although confused and concerned, could do little but watch as Lars spiraled further into his own world of fear and apprehension. They were bystanders to a narrative that was rapidly evolving from a simple vacation tale into a chilling mystery. Anxiety creeping in, Lars Mittank was a man on the edge. An urgent call home sparks concern. Lars speaks of the men who are coming to kill him. The tranquility of a normal day was shattered when Lars Mittank's mother received a phone call that would forever change her life. Her son Lars, on the other end, was noticeably shaken, his voice trembling with fear. In a rapid, hushed tone, Lars warned of unknown men he believed were coming to end his life. His words were a chilling mix of panic and desperation, painting a picture of a man convinced he was on the brink of a sinister fate. He pleaded with his mother to cancel his credit cards, a move that seemed to suggest he was planning to disappear. His mother, gripped with a fear that mirrored her son's, could only listen in disbelief. She struggled to make sense of his words, to decipher if his terror was grounded in reality or simply a manifestation of an unraveling mind. His fear was palpable, but was it real or imagined? Lars finally decides to leave, but something happens at the airport that sends him running. The date was July 8, 2014. Lars Mittank, a 28-year-old German tourist, found himself at Bulgaria's Varna airport, ready to board his flight back home. But before he could do so, he needed to see the airport doctor. Lars complained of a persistent earache, a result of the bar brawl he had been involved in days earlier. Dr. Kostov, the physician on duty, examined Lars and advised him against flying due to the risk of a potential rupture of his eardrum due to the cabin pressure. Lars, feeling uneasy and anxious, decided to consult with his mother over the phone. During the call, he mentioned feeling watched and followed, a stark contrast to his usual calm demeanor. He abruptly ended the call, leaving his mother deeply concerned. But what happened next was beyond anyone's imagination. As Dr. Kostov was writing a prescription for Lars, a construction worker entered the room, causing Lars to react in an unexpected way. He leapt from his chair, his eyes wide with terror, and bolted out of the room. Ignoring the doctor's calls to return, Lars raced through the airport terminal, his heart pounding like a drum. He left behind his luggage, his passport, his money, everything that tied him to his previous life. He sprinted past the stunned bystanders, his fear evident in every stride. And then, as if vanishing into thin air, Lars disappeared. The airport security cameras captured his frantic escape, but the footage only deepened the mystery. Where was he running to? Who or what was he running from? Was it fear, paranoia, or something far more sinister at play? Leaving behind his belongings, Lars sprinted into the unknown. A CCTV footage captures the last known sighting of Lars Mittank. In a chilling turn of events, Lars is seen bolting out of the airport, his face a mirror of raw fear. He sprints across the tarmac, his steps echoing an urgency that's hard to ignore. His movements are erratic, each stride revealing a man in the grip of terror. The footage, grainy and silent, tells a story words fail to capture. It's a scene that's both baffling and haunting, a man running towards an unseen danger or perhaps away from it. There's no sign of pursuit, no apparent threat. Yet Lars runs like a man possessed, his destination unknown. His silhouette gets smaller and smaller, swallowed by the vast expanse of the airport grounds until it vanishes altogether. This unsettling footage marks the last time anyone saw Lars Mittank. His abrupt exit, captured on camera, leaves more questions than answers. And just like that, Lars Mittank disappeared. Years have passed, but the search for Lars continues. With every tick of the clock, with every flip of the calendar, the mystery of Lars Mittank's disappearance deepens. Yet the world refuses to forget, refuses to let go. The search for Lars, the man who vanished into thin air, persists. His face, still fresh in the minds of many, graces the posters that are plastered across towns and cities. His name, echoing in the hearts of those who knew him, reverberates through the corridors of time. Despite the passage of years, reported sightings of Lars continue to trickle in. From the bustling streets of Sofia to the quiet corners of Varna, from the sun-drenched beaches of the Black Sea to the snow-capped peaks of the Balkan Mountains, whispers of a man resembling Lars keep the embers of hope alive. Every sighting, every potential lead, sends a ripple of anticipation through the hearts of those invested in this mystery. The efforts to locate Lars are relentless, driven by an unwavering belief that he is out there, somewhere, waiting to be found. The police, the private investigators, the volunteers, all united in their mission to unravel this enigma. They sift through countless reports, pore over hours of CCTV footage, and traverse miles of terrain in their tireless quest. Yet every lead seems to dissolve into a mirage, every clue a puzzle piece that refuses to fit. In the face of such challenges, one might expect the search to lose momentum. But the mystery of Lars Mittank only fuels the determination of those on his trail. The elusive nature of this case, the multitude of unanswered questions, only intensify the resolve of those who seek the truth. The search for Lars, is more than a quest to find a missing man. It is a testament to the power of hope, the strength of the human spirit, and the enduring belief in the possibility of a resolution. Despite the passage of time, hope remains. The search for Lars Mittank continues, a beacon of light piercing through the veil of uncertainty, illuminating the path to answers that lie just beyond our reach. So what really happened to Lars Mittank? The question hangs heavy in the air as we reflect on the bizarre and unsettling series of events leading up to Lars' sudden and unexplained disappearance. A vacation that mutated into a nightmare, a doctor's warning that fell on deaf ears, and an urgent call that forever altered the course of things. We remember the airport incident, the frantic dash through the terminal, the abandoned luggage, the last sighting of Lars Mittank. We recall the relentless, ongoing search, the countless hours spent combing through every inch of the surrounding area, the desperate pleas for information. But despite the tireless efforts of countless individuals, Lars remains missing, his fate unknown. Various theories have sprung up over the years, each more bewildering than the last. Some suggest that Lars may have fallen victim to an elaborate scam, lured away by the promise of adventure or profit. Others believe he may have been abducted, perhaps as a result of some dark underground dealings. And still, others propose that Lars may have chosen to disappear, to start anew under a different identity. One particularly chilling theory suggests that Lars may have been suffering from an undiagnosed mental illness, which could explain his erratic behavior and sudden flight from the airport. Could he have been experiencing hallucinations, or perhaps even a psychotic break? Yet another theory points to a possible altercation with unknown individuals. Could Lars have gotten himself mixed up in some kind of trouble that ultimately led to his disappearance? The truth is, we may never know. What we do know is that Lars Mittank was a young man with his whole life ahead of him. He had people who cared about him, people who continue to search for him to this day. His story serves as a chilling reminder of the fragility of life, of how quickly things can go awry. But we also know that the human spirit is resilient. Despite the uncertainty, despite the pain and the fear, there are those who refuse to give up, who continue to search for answers, who cling to the hope that one day Lars might be found. As we stand here on the precipice of the unknown, we are reminded once again of the enduring mystery that is Lars Mittank's disappearance. We are left with more questions than answers, with a sense of unease that lingers long after the facts have been laid bare. The disappearance of Lars Mittank is a puzzle with missing pieces, a story with an unfinished ending. It's a tragic tale that has captivated and confounded us, a mystery that continues to baffle even the most seasoned investigators. As we delve into the shadows, the mystery of Lars Mittank's disappearance remains unsolved,